Well, it's been another long week of influencers getting into drama. From Rosanna Pansino exposing MrBeast again, Joey Graceffa calling out Brittany Broski, and Tana Mongeau finding herself in a pretty scary situation because of the canceled podcast. It's a mess, so let's get into it. Last year, Rosanna Pansino found herself in major drama for the first time in her career when she called out MrBeast. Rosanna had participated in MrBeast Creator Games and appeared in his video titled Extreme $1 Million Hide and Seek. The way the video was edited made it look like Rosanna came in 5th place while Logan Paul placed in the top 3.
Wait, who's that? Wait, point the camera! Who is that? Oh no! Rose, you're not fooling anyone with those big fans.
When in reality, Rosanna says that she was found after Logan was found, and she felt weird about MrBeast manipulating the footage in favor of Logan. She never said anything publicly about it until she went on Just Trish.
And so when it aired, when the video came out, my friends were like, what happened?
Really? Because you weren't in it?
They had me get eliminated like somewhere in the middle, and I was really proud of myself because I'm not mean and competitive, you know? I just go out there and do my best, and I actually beat other creators who are a lot of male creators who are super competitive. They're very talented. They edited me out somewhere in the middle when really I was top 3.
Wait,
and
what?
in the edit, I was top 3, so that was very confusing. So when I'm watching it, they had Logan, Zach King, and Larry be top 3, but Larry fell asleep, so he was disqualified. I followed all the rules, good sportsmanship. I tried really hard, and I was top 3.
Eventually, that part of the podcast got clipped and reposted to all the different social media platforms, and the situation really blew up. A lot of people were talking about it, and Rosanna felt like she needed to release a statement. She pretty much said that she was disappointed in MrBeast for editing the video in a way that looks like she performed worse than she did. She said when she was found, she thought she placed 4th, but then they found out Larray had fallen asleep and was disqualified, meaning that she placed in the top 3. According to Rosanna, the final 3 people were Zach, Quackity, and herself. She was really proud of what she accomplished because she was playing with a bunch of competitive guys and she was excited to see the video. Of course, that excitement went away when the episode was released and Rosanna saw that she was edited out of the top 3. This drama ended up really blowing up because both Rosanna and MrBeast are never in any drama, and MrBeast has an extremely dedicated audience. Rosanna faced a lot of backlash from his fans, and in an effort to prove her side, she started tweeting out screenshots of her messages with MrBeast where she felt like he was trying to do some damage control. He wouldn't message her, he just wanted to get her on the phone, and she felt like that was his way of making sure nothing was in writing that could be used against him. Eventually, Rosanna deleted all her tweets, and the situation naturally died down. Well, it's now been over 8 months since the situation happened, and Rosanna is finally sharing her final thoughts on MrBeast and what happened between them. This all went down when Rosanna did a video with Joey Graceffa called Spill or Spew. Joey asked her what her current thoughts were on MrBeast, and instead of eating whatever food was in front of her, she decided to answer the question.
Yeah, tell us. Tell us, Ro, what are your current thoughts on him? Come on. It was really good, by the way.
Well, how bad does it smell? It's disgusting.
This whole time, I thought maybe they had a phone call and he apologized and explained why he chose to edit her out of 3rd place, but that didn't happen. She said that she did have a phone call with him, but everything she thought would happen on that phone call happened.
So we did do a phone call.
Okay.
And what I thought would happen, happened. He didn't take any accountability for what happened.
Right.
Tried to kind of like go, I'm sorry that happened, but it didn't happen to me. He did it to me. He made the decision to do it. He edited it that way. I told him I don't need an apology and I don't expect that. I just was really hoping for accountability in private, just like a private accountability.
And he couldn't even do that for you.
And if he could do that, I would squash it and I'd walk away and be done. But he couldn't do that.
He apparently didn't take any accountability and brushed the whole thing off onto his editors.
Like, he tried to blame it on the editors. He's like, the editors did that, but he recorded voiceover with them to make the storyline different.
Overall, she says that she doesn't hate MrBeast, but she also doesn't necessarily like him, and she felt silenced by him and how overwhelming the response was from his audience.
You don't like him?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hate him. I just don't like him.
Did you feel silenced from that situation afterwards?
Yes. We got so many and I've never really experienced something like that, and I learned a lot. I spoke with a lot of people at YouTube. I worked with a lot of people in law and legal stuff.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot, so I won't feel like that again, so I can have a voice again.
At least it sounds like it was a learning experience for her, and now she knows where she stands with MrBeast. But that's not all that was revealed on this episode of Spill or Spew. Joey also had his fair share of shady questions, one of which was about a time a creator rejected him.
Have I ever been rejected? Yes, I sure damn have. Okay, we'll answer, I guess, both. So, as far as like YouTubers, I feel like it's so easy to get rejected in this space. It's hard to not take it personally. Like when you really want to like become closer friends with someone in the creator space.
And instead of eating the snails, Joey answered the question and talked about being rejected for a collab by Brittany Broski's team.
I feel like she's rejected a lot of people, but Brittany Broski, like I love her so much and I wanted to shoot a video. And you know what, she's not obligated for anything, but I would love to film with her, but her team said no, so.
He said that he not only reached out to her team because, you know, sometimes a team could say no without letting the creator know that someone reached out, so he also reached out to Brittany directly and she ignored him.
Her team said no?
Yeah, and I reached out to her too, but she ignored me, so I'm just gonna assume it's a no.
What?
And people in the comments were shocked that Brittany would reject Joey. One person said, "I'm shocked Brittany's team denied." And this isn't the first time we've heard about Brittany turning down collabs. A few months ago, Tana and Brooke said they asked Brittany to come on the Cancelled podcast and pretty much set it up like they know that she's so much above them, but they would love to have her on. And she turned down their offer, saying that her fan base would be extremely angry with her.
I'd been seeing Brittany Broski on Theo Von. Like a bunch. Like all those clips. And it was so funny.
So
she did
funny.
amazing. It was one of my favorite episodes of Theo Von ever. I texted her and I was like, I would actually fall over and die to have you on my podcast if you're ever feeling like doing charity, LOL. We're here and we'd love to have you, Brittany.
Yeah.
Whatever. And she said, OMFG, you know I love you, but my fans would literally stab and grill me on a campfire if I did.
Stab and grill me on a campfire.
And then I said, why? And she didn't answer me.
And look, I get wanting to protect your reputation, but people were confused because Brittany has collabed with a lot of men with controversial reputations. I mean, she had no problem collabing with Cody Ko and Theo Von, but for some reason, the Cancelled podcast and Joey Graceffa are where she draws the line. Speaking of Tana, she recently revealed that someone is trying to come for her after talking about them on the Cancelled podcast. She said that she received a very serious message from this person, pretty much threatening her, and now she has to take a bodyguard with her whenever she goes out in LA.
I woke up today to death.
Like actual.
It's fate on sight. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you when I see you because of something I said on the Cancelled podcast. On some real serious, like real life, I have to take a bodyguard everywhere I go in LA now for like the next 6 months.
And Tana and Brooke talk about a lot of influencers and celebrities, so the speculation was going wild in the comment section. People were guessing Tessa Brooks, Jojo Siwa, Jack Wright, Brittany Broski. I mean, it really could be anyone. One of the top guesses was Tessa Brooks, since that seemed to be the most recent influencer they talked about that turned out to be this huge drama. But Brooke confirmed in a comment on TikTok that it was in fact not Tessa Brooks. And Tana continued this conversation on Just Trish last week and talked about how there's been a lot of headlines right now revolving her name and how overwhelming it is.
Someone that I talked about on the Cancelled podcast texting me saying, and texting Brooke as well, and people that I know, and, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass when I see you. It's fate on sight. I'm gonna fuck you up.
Is it someone you know personally?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is someone I know personally.
You could actually see this person.
I was commentating on public drama.
She was telling Trisha about how her live show got recorded and how the whole internet now knows about the Jack Wright situation and Cody Co. And now this threat that she received and how it's a lot to handle.
Well, I think I'm also just like, I said that Cody stuff on stage, and then there's like other I said about someone else going viral right now, and people just I just like in the past 2 weeks I've gotten in a decent amount of trouble for I've been saying, and like it goes in waves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How do you deal with it?
I try to just shut the fuck up for a week, but here I am on Just Trish.
Both Tana and Brooke have expressed feelings of feeling burnout when it comes to telling all these shocking stories on Canceled that get them into trouble and cause drama in their personal lives. I guess there were some people on Reddit criticizing Brooke for wanting to be brand safe and kind of holding back on Canceled compared to Tana, and Brooke addressed it on TikTok. She said that she's nearly 28 now, she doesn't have as many crazy stories anymore, and she really doesn't know what people want her to do.
This comment says, you should check Reddit, they're saying that they want you off. And thank you, I do know that. For some reason, everybody's number one goal is to make sure everybody knows that I know how much everybody hates me. Brooke adds nothing to Canceled, Brooke ruins Canceled, Brooke has nothing to say, Brooke only cares about being brand safe. Whatever it is, I've heard it. Our podcast is called Canceled, okay? And implied in that is that we are going to be sharing stories like that are kind of out there and crazy and exposing people and like stuff like that we don't always have. I'm 28 years old. I don't have any more stories about me hooking up with someone behind the dumpster. I wish I did. And as fun as it was in the beginning, it's not fun for me to expose people anymore, okay? And I know that's what you signed up for. You should have never ended up on a podcast like this if you were gonna all of a sudden change up. But I am an adult. Like I'm like I said, I'm about to turn 28. I don't want that to be my lifestyle anymore. There are so many reasons that I've felt like I've had to like pull back a little bit, and zero of those reasons are because I care more about my brand, okay?
But the Canceled podcast fans were all commenting, saying how they tune in every week to watch the dynamic between Tana and Brooke. They aren't watching to see them expose influencers or tell crazy stories in every single episode. A lot of people just like listening to Tana and Brooke discussing their everyday lives or giving their takes on like pop culture topics. It doesn't always have to be the most shocking stories to keep people interested, and their fans wanted to make sure that was more than clear to them. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about everything down below, and I'll see you next time.